Why am I wearing this shirt? I am so excited to tell you in today's video. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Emily. I created Definite Hearing as a way to increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing myself. I was diagnosed with my hearing loss at birth and fit with hearing aids at the age of 4 months old. My hearing loss has greatly impacted my life, and specifically with regards to my relationships with others. And so in today's video, in honor of Joel and Maya's pending anniversary, I want to talk about the first conversation that we had about my hearing loss when we were dating. I hope you stick around to the end of this video, because if you do, I am going to share 3 things that if you are mindful of and you pay attention to and try to practice, it will greatly benefit your relationships. All right, so why am I wearing this crazy shirt with a T-Rex holding a roll of toilet paper? Well, Joel and I celebrated our anniversary last year, and due to coronavirus, we couldn't do anything. So Joel ordered these t-shirts to forever remember the anniversary with coronavirus. We have a funny thing about dinosaurs. I have no idea why. I just love dinosaurs, and the toilet paper was just a joke, because at that point during coronavirus, people were going crazy and clearing all the store shelves and stocking up on toilet paper. So Joel got me this shirt. I love it. It just cracked me up. It's just so funny. So that's why I'm wearing it today, because this is a huge, just kind of part of our relationship, how we have this awesome relationship and how we make this work. And I think the biggest thing that makes our relationship work is the fact that we got off on a really good start. Long story short, Joel and I met at work. We were coworkers. I swore I would never date a coworker. He tried to ask me if we wanted to hang out a couple times. I was not. I was sort of interested, but not really. I was so over dating when I met Joel. It was just long story. Anyway, so Joel and I started dating very quickly. We hung out one night, went on a date the next, and started just we wanted to date each other. I just was like, yeah, this guy is awesome. It wasn't until we had been dating for about, I want to say 3 weeks, that we talked about my hearing loss. I mean, even 3 weeks doesn't sound right. I want to say 3 months. It just wasn't something that I felt obligated to talk about. He knew that I had a hearing loss, but we just never had really talked about it. And so I just one day was just I'm genuinely curious. Does my hearing loss bother you at all? And his instant reply was, why should I let something that you have no control over determine how or if I love you? What? I almost start tearing up when I think about this, because I was so grateful that he recognized that. I was so grateful that he saw me for who I was, rather than seeing my hearing loss and then seeing me. And fun fact, Joel is the first and only person that I've ever kissed. I have a personality in which I know what I want, and I am not going to stop until I find that. And when I met Joel and I just totally fell in love with him, it happened so fast. We dated for less than a year. We dated for about 11 months, and then we got married. And we've been married for almost 4 years. And life has been awesome. I didn't know if I ever was gonna get married. And to be honest with you, I didn't really ever want to get married. I just always wanted to be this boss lady businesswoman that worked in the high rises of New York. I don't know, it's just interesting. And so I just wanna get back to this discussion with Joel. I know that there are a lot of hard of hearing people and parents of hard of hearing children that wonder how a hearing loss will influence their ability to love and be loved and build relationships. Now, that said, in what I have seen in my personal experience and in others, the hearing loss is not the defining factor It is your willingness to exercise these 3 traits that I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I'm going to share at the end. It is so important, and I think it's so easy for people to be judgmental and say like, oh, they have a hearing loss, I'm just not even interested, because that means that like they must be flawed, or my children will have problems, or things like that. Fun fact, Joel and I's children have a lesser chance than our grandchildren of having hearing loss, the way that my hearing loss is formatted with the genes that Joel has. And so it's really interesting, like, just tip for people that are dating with hearing loss: if someone's not interested in you because of your hearing loss, they are not worth your time. They are not worth your energy. They are self-absorbed and inconsiderate. Like, that's just like, if they are disappointed with you with regards to something you have no control over, think about how disappointed they will be with a lot of other things in life. Like, just don't even consider it. I did not feel obligated when I dated people to share that I had a hearing loss or to talk about it until Joel and I were dating seriously, and I just was like, wow, this could be for real. Like, this guy has an attitude and a personality that I want to commit to. There is just so much to it. My biggest concern was what Joel thought of my hearing loss, and I could not have expected or even thought that he would respond with such of a great answer as he did. It was really interesting because Joel and I really had to fight for each other with regards to what our families thought about us and what others thought about us. When we were dating, Joel was traveling a lot for work, and naturally he would take Uber rides and have discussions with these Uber drivers. And there was one in particular that he told an Uber driver that, yeah, I'm engaged to a girl with a hearing loss and with a peanut allergy. And the Uber driver straight up said, like, dude, run. What are you thinking? This girl sounds like she's gonna be so reliant on you. And Joel really had to consider what others thought about him and about us. And we had to fight through that. And because we fought through that, we became stronger, and our unity is just incredible. And I will say, I'm very religious. God is a huge part of our relationship, a huge part of the principles that are the foundation of our relationship. And because we believe that Christ was resurrected, we believe we will be resurrected too, and that our marriage isn't just for this life. It is not until death do us part, but it is like forever. So the commitment that we were making with each other and with God to like stay true to each other was huge. And realizing that I have this hearing loss that I have no control over that could greatly impact our relationship, and we still have so much to learn, okay? Imagine bringing children into the picture. I have a friend who just had a baby. I have no idea of how I am going to function when we have children. I am just relying on the fact that I'm going to know when my children need me. I wake up in the morning without an alarm clock. I'm hoping that same instinct will wake me up. And so, yeah, there is kind of like Joel and I's first discussion. There's so much around it. I think it'd be so fun to pull Joel in and have him kind of give his take on this and share some experiences for other people who are hard of hearing and have spouses or significant others. And then also for parents of children who are hard of hearing to see that it is possible to find someone who loves your child regardless their disability that they have no control over. And so if you think you would like that, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Okay, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. I want to share 3 things, principles, traits, whatever you want to call them, that will greatly benefit your relationships, whether it's with a significant other, a loved one, or a friend, especially if they're hard of hearing. Number 1, and this is speaking as a hard of hearing person for your relationships with others, but it can be adapted in lots of ways. Number 1 is give people a benefit of a doubt. Sometimes Joel says things and I proactively think this is what he said, and I'm like, oh, but then that's like not what he said at all. And so it's important to take time to hear, to understand, and give people that love you a benefit of a doubt. It's so easy to get like mad or disappointed at something someone said when it clearly is not what they said. We've had a couple times where Joel has to say like, wait, you didn't hear what I said. Like, here's what I said. For example, if I like take time to make dinner, we're both very busy. We usually take turns making dinner. If I make this big dinner and Joel sits down and he says, thank you so much for dinner, this looks amazing. And I hear, thank you, like, I can't even fathom it right now. Just like, I think he says, "Thank you for dinner, but why did you make this?" Like, I have to remember that Joel is good, kind, and loving, and he loves me, and he would never say that. And so I've got to take a step back and give him a benefit of a doubt. So that's number one, benefit of a doubt, whatever that means in your life. Number two, patience. This goes right off of benefit of a doubt. If you didn't hear something, just say, "Excuse me, I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry." And just have them repeat it and just realize that comes from both sides. And realize, like, understand what your loved one needs to get their attention first as a hard of hearing person, so that they have a chance to tune in, focus, and understand. Because a lot of people think, like, if you're hard of hearing and you get hearing aids or a cochlear implant, you can magically hear. You can hear, but understanding is a whole nother thing, and patience really benefits that understanding. Also, as a hard of hearing person, be patient with yourself. Love yourself. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself and say, where am I at? Do I love myself? What do I need to do to appreciate myself more? And make sure you love yourself first, because as you take care of yourself, you're able to better take care of others. Last but not least, exercise forgiveness. Joel and I have this joke that when we decided to get married, that we would pre-forgive each other, that we would just understand that, hey, we're not perfect, but we love each other a lot. And the fact that we loved each other now can help us, like, remember that we still love each other. We're trying to get better. We're trying to do our best. We're going to have stressful moments where we snap. We're going to have disagreements, but that does not mean that we will, like, be disappointed in each other or angry with each other. We're going to understand that, like, they're having a bad day and I forgive you. And having that understanding of communication and talking frequently and serving each other has really been a blessing. So I highly recommend just understand that your loved one, whether hearing or hard of hearing, is not perfect. And when you kind of let go of those expectations, you're pleasantly surprised more often than not. So yeah, there are my 3 tips. Do you have any tips for a hearing or a hard of hearing person to improve a relationship? If so, I would love to hear in the comments below. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video. Again, if you have other video ideas or you think that it'd be so fun for me to do a video or 2 or 3 with Joel, please let me know in the comments below. And always remember to stay strong and stay amazing. Have a great day. Bye. Did I show my hearing aids? I need to show off my hearing aids. A lot of times, people don't believe I have a hearing loss, so I have to show off that, like, no, really, I wear hearing aids, and I'm very hard of hearing. Yeah, I just gotta show them off. So, there are my hearing aids. I hope you have a great day.